Respected Father Principal, former principals, members of Hoxa, Vice Principals and dear teachers, Happy Founders Day to you all.
Today we have gathered here to unveil the statue of our founder, Father John Moore. Starting off with the lamp lighting ceremony, I request Father Roshnam, Father Bill Doyer, Father Bob Slattery, Mr. Shomik Dutt and Mr. Sujit Sen to light the lamp.
Thank you so much, sir. I request everyone to quieten down for the prayer song.
इतनी शक्ति हमें देना दाता, मन का विश्वास कमजोर होना। इतनी शक्ति हमें देना दाता, मन का विश्वास कमजोर होना। हम चले नेक रास्ते पे हमसे भूल कर भी कोई भूल होना। इतनी शक्ति हमें देना दाता, मन का विश्वास कमजोर होना। दूर अज्ञान के हो अंधेरे, तू हमें ज्ञान की रोशनी दे। हर बुराई से बचते रहे हम, जितनी बीते भरी जिंदगी रे। वैर होना किसी का किसी से, भावना मन में बदले की होना। हम चले नेक रास्ते पे हमसे भूल कर भी कोई भूल होना। इतनी शक्ति हमें देना दाता, मन का विश्वास कमजोर होना। हम न सोचे हमें क्या मिला है, हम ये सोचे किया क्या है अर्पण। फूल खुशियों के बाटे सभी को, सबका जीवन ही बन जाए मधुबन। अपनी करुणा का जल तू बहा के, कर दे पावन हर एक मन का होना। हम चले नेक रास्ते पे हमसे भूल कर भी कोई भूल होना। इतनी शक्ति हमें देना दाता, मन का विश्वास कमजोर होना। Now we start off with the unveiling ceremony.
राहुल हेल्प करो वो
Good morning. When I'm happy, I tell God I'm happy. And this morning, to come amongst you, students, teachers, and old boys, young and old, I am very happy and I thank God for it. So I sat down and composed a prayer of thanksgiving. O God, loving Father of us all, gathered this morning in St. Xavier's, we thank you for bringing us Father John Moore to Hazaribagh on his first visit in October 1951. He came like Caesar. He saw and he conquered us. He saw that what the town needed was a good English medium school. But where to put it? O God, your divine Spirit guided him to a large residence, Balmoral. It was for sale, and with an orchard there between the building and the Patna Road. Father Moore, guided by your divine Spirit, decided that this is the place for a school. Balmoral may have gone, but we enjoyed the memorial garden in its place. We thank you, God, for that momentous decision. Today we celebrate that charismatic priest as we recall all the benefits that have come to Hazaribagh through the school. His spirit, guided by God, is still with the school. Oh Lord, we are happy that we are able to remind the present generation of boys and girls who are the beneficiaries of Father Moore's foresight. Our blessing is bust. As we call down your blessing on his image, we ask you to continue to bless all the students and their teachers gathered, all the old students and the future students, as confidently we look ahead in hope to the school's century, which with your loving grace, some of us here today will be here to celebrate it. Tatastu, may this be.
Thank you.
I now request Father Roshna. I now request Father Roshna Khalko, Father Bill Doyle, and Father Bob Statry to guard the statue.
आगे से डालिए, आगे से डालिए, आगे से।
I request the vice principals and teachers to offer the flags to Father John Moore statue.
कहाँ लगता है आजकल है? अच्छा बढ़िया है।
Hereafter will disperse to the auditorium.
चलिए, हो गया बोला, हो गया ऑडिटोरियम में बंद करते हैं।
Former principals, Father Bob Statry and Father Bill Doyle, dignified members of HOXA, vice principals, teachers and dear students, a very warm good morning to one and all present here.
This prestigious institution was founded in 1952. The school was founded by Australian Jesuit missionary Father John Moore. Therefore, in order to commemorate his work, we celebrate his birthday, that is 5th of August, as Founders Day every year. He came in India in February 1951 after some months of studying Hindi in Ranchi. He came to Hazaribagh in late 1951 as designate principal of New St. Xavier School.
I, on behalf of St. Xavier School family, welcome you all and wish you all a very happy Founders Day. Celebrating Founders Day, I request Father Roshna, former principals Father Bob Slattery and Father Bill Doyer, Hoxa representatives Mr. Sujit Sen and Mr. Somit Dutt to come up on the stage and cut a cake. Reverse. Arya. Be here.
We are very honored to have in midst of us Father P.J. James, the former principal from whom Father Rosner took charge.
और सांसों में जीवन का संगीत है, संगीत से लगाव, संगीत से ही प्रीत है।
This wonderful day, we all sing together. We greet you with cheer, your presence we revere. Give us your blessings sincere. Welcome this day, this wonderful day. We all sing together. We greet you with cheer, your presence we revere. give us your blessing sincere. We Xavierians welcome you, with flowers and smiles we greet you. We will be the shining stars, we'll make your dreams come true. We Xavierians welcome you, with flowers and smiles we greet you. We will be the shining stars, we'll make your dreams come true. Give thanks to God, let's celebrate. It's Founders Day, happy day, we feel great. St. Xavier School and Mama Day, in anthem our highest praise. Give thanks to God, let's celebrate. It's Founders Day, happy day, we feel great. St. Xavier School and Mama Day, in anthem our highest praise. Welcome this day, this wonderful day. We all sing together. We greet you with cheer. Your presence we revere. Give us your blessing sincere. Welcome this day, this wonderful day. We all sing together. We greet you with cheer. Your presence we revere. Give us your blessing sincere. Give us your blessing sincere. Give us your blessing sincere.
Thank you very much. I now request Reverend Father Roshna Khalko to come up on the podium and address the gathering.
Dear students, teachers, school staff, fathers and sisters, former principals, the guests of the day, alumni and Hoxons who are physically and directly here, and also those who are part of our program indirectly. Good morning and greetings to each one of you. I feel deeply honored standing here today, as well as very privileged to welcome you all here. It is a pleasure to see you all here on this very auspicious day. I feel highly grateful to welcome you all back into the abode of education once again, where you have spent significant years of your life. A very warm welcome to all you dear students and teachers and the alumni to your alma mater. Let me proudly share my feelings. There are plenty of worries, obstacles, hurdles, and challenges in life as a principal here in this school. But what to worry and why to worry? When we have sea or galaxy of good, in fact, very good, energetic, enthusiastic, intelligent, genuine parents, grandparents, and well-wishers are with us. Close and afar, alumni and Hoxons, their abundant blessings are always 24 hours with us and upon us. In real sense, If we want to get any help for our institution to solve any problem, they are available everywhere, locally, nationally, and globally. Praise to the Lord for a man, the great visionary, our beloved Father John Moore. He initiated and opened such institution, St. Xavier's School, Hazaribagh, with a great quality in which thousands and thousands of students are molded, folded, and created with human values to serve the humanity, nature, and the world. Today, I would like to mention the names of our beloved guests who have come from far and local to make this day, our Founders' Day, meaningful and successful. They all are great men of our Xavier family. With grateful heart, as the head of the Xavier School family, let me pronounce their name with my lips. I am sure each one's blessings will be upon our Xavier School family. Some might have turned, some did not, but I am proud to pronounce their names because they are in Hazaribagh. Occasionally, they come to the school, they address the school, and they have come and addressed, and occasionally they come and enjoy the campus too. A few names are left, please forgive me. Mr. Vikram Sen, Bulu Imam, Pratap Jain, Dr. Rajat Chakravarti, Ranjan Jain, Dr. Dalit Jain, Vakshan Jain, Jeevan Singh Kashyap, Sujal Mukherjee, Hamza Nazvi, Dr. Vikas Kumar, Dr. Sujoy Samanta, Abhijit Sen, Shankar Banerjee, Munna Singh, Anand Deo, Anjan Sinha, and Rajesh Sunda. We had invited them. Some of them here I see. If others have not come, but it's good. You should know they are the great grandfathers of ours, and they are around us. Few names from Calcutta chapter who traveled from Calcutta to Hazaribagh to make the day definitely meaningful and successful. Mr. Siddharth Roy Chowdhury, 67 batch. Shekhar Roy Chowdhury, 71 batch. Mr. Sujit Sen, 67 batch. Sumit Dutt, 1971 batch. Mr. Gulam Mukherjee, 73 batch. Arijit Das Gupta, 78 batch. Mr. Shankar Narayan Datta, that is 1978 batch. And definitely my local friends, Hers Burma, short form is RICO, 1974 batch, President Hoxha. Rahul Jain, 1997 batch, Secretary Hoxha, and all the other governing council members. Recalling history is not bad on such occasions. In fact, throughout my life, I cannot forget the combination of these three young alumni. Yeah, young in a sense, very young, mid-age and old age, who taught the institution to swim opposite direction, but successfully when the school family was struggling in the troubled water. These great men are Mr. Vikram Sen, Mr. Shankar Banerjee, and Mr. Raju Jain. They are all renowned lawyers of the city. Of course, we cannot forget our sir, Dr. Devrat sir, an emerging lawyer who is always with us to help the institution. Even today, they continue to stand with the Xavier School family in all the odd moments and situations. Hoxha doctor's contribution is amazing to our school family. Also, I'm happy to tell you that plan of installing burst of Father John Moore in the campus came about 2 years ago. I was invited by Hoxha chapter in Calcutta. They asked me what I wanted from them. I said that I wanted Father John Moore's head. That's the face in the school campus. And what you will see now onwards is all their love for the school and for their beloved principal. Many experiences, personal experience from them, you will hear soon after by two speakers. So finally, may God bless us and bless our school family. Thank you. Have a great time today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Father. Hazaribagh story, John Moore touch. The school that started in 1952 is not the same anymore. Inspired by John Moore's vision, the school has been a book of changes. The school, as it is now, is a CBSE-affiliated co-educational institution with the motto of Parhit Dharm.
Now, we present before you a short film titled John Moore Touch. This film is an extract from a larger documentary on the school and tries to capture the spirit and values, morals, and principles that were the foundation on which the school was built on.
Nestled in the North Chotanagpur plateau of Jharkhand is Hazaribagh. And in these congenial and salubrious surroundings arrived the Australian Jesuit mission to set up St. Xavier School at Hazaribagh. Of the first 6 Australian Jesuits, it was Father John Moore who was appointed principal of St. Xavier's Hazaribagh. It was the beginning of a long and fruitful chapter in Jesuit education in the region.
If I think about the time here, what I think is the most beautiful thing that I experienced here, which later on for 15 years I experienced in Bucharest still, was the John Moore touch.
Well, the school was well running at that stage, you see. He'd been here for about 10 years, and he was I suppose you call him a charismatic person, but he's a person who had grasped very deeply the meaning of education.
He could already see, at that time, he could already see what was happening. I don't know whether you remember. I remember him talking to the boys, saying the bourgeoisie sort of attitude to life. I get my car, I get my house, I get my refrigerator, and so on, and so I'm set. And he kept saying, no, there's more in life than this. There's more in life than just having all these good things, that there's much more, and that's why his ethics classes were that. They were about relationships between people, what's it based on, and so on.
So what he was interested in then was, not trying to take hold of that person, but to help that person to grow, become more and more free, so they could be more and more themselves, and at the same time develop then the same idea of whatever they have by way of gifts for the service of God and others.
The special thing about our school, like I mentioned earlier, was that it's the total concentration on the personality of a person, rather than merely getting him to coming first in school or very good in games, things like that. It was a total personality. That, I think, was an exclusive from that angle, as far as that school is concerned.
Now, he was very much aware of that, and he's very much aware then of helping people. And I think he created an atmosphere in the school where this was the aim of the school, and the boys picked up then, well, what we have to do is try and work together and grow.
Father Moore had chosen for the motto of the school, in veritate et caritate, which means in truth and love. A search for truth and a love of it and sticking with it when it is known, and then to live in love of each other and love of God as we develop religiously.
The fact that it was a family, it grew, as did the school in Bokaro, but even though it grew and the numbers now here are much larger than they were in 1951-52, the school still has that mark of John Moore, the personal touch.
At the time when I came, many people had been asking, what does this mean? So then I said, well, let me search. We'll have an alternative one for Hazaribagh, which I can say, now here's a classical Hindi one. So I liked that line from Tulsidas, in which Ram says to Bharat, I think you could check that, Ram says to Bharat, Parahit sarisa dharam nahi bhai. Parahit saris dharam nahi bhai. So, Parahit saris dharam nahi. There is no dharam which is like Parahit, the welfare of another. So I thought that somehow summed up in veritate et caritate. So that became then an alternative motto. So I would tell people that beautiful one you see on the mosaic at the entrance and on the wall of the old building, that remains, that's the original inspiration.
When I was here at St. Xavier's, I remember there was a choir we had, and I only just thought of it now, so my mind goes back. We called it the Larks, and we had a number of occasions at concerts when we were able to sing, and they were standing in tears and circular. It was beautiful. And one of them was that beautiful thing, Morning is Broken. So I'd just like to finish off this little sharing with something from that song. I can't remember the words very well, let me have a go. Morning has broken like the first morning. Blackbird has spoken like the first bird. Praise for the morning, praise for the sunshine, praise for the good God loving us all.
Music, once admitted to the soul, becomes a sort of spirit and never dies. Now, here is a retro-themed Bollywood song, Pipra Ke Pat.
पिपरा के पतवा सरीखे डोले मनवा के हियरा में उठता है लोर। अरे पुरवा के झोंकवा में आयो रे संदेशवा कि चले आज देशवा की ओर।
पिपरा के पतवा सरीखे डोले मनवा के हियरा में उठता है लोर। पुरवा के झोंकवा में आयो रे संदेशवा की चल आज देशवा की ओर। पिपरा के पतवा सरीखे डोले मनवा के हियरा में उठता है लोर। पुरवा के झोंकवा में आयो रे संदेशवा की चल आज देशवा की ओर। झुकी झुकी बोले कारे कारे ये बदरवा। झुकी झुकी बोले कारे कारे ये बदरवा। कब से पुकारे तो है नैनों का कजरवा। उमड़ घुमड़ जब गरजे बदरिया रे ठुमक ठुमक नाचे मोर। पुरवा के झोंकवा में आयो रे संदेशवा की चल आज देशवा की ओर। पिपरा के पतवा सरीखे डोले मनवा के हियरा में उठत है लोर। पुरवा के झोंकवा में आयो रे संदेशवा की चल आज देशवा की ओर।
Thank you so much for your alluring song. Can we have a big round of applause for them?
Now, hold on to your seats for the thrilling dance performance of the tiny toddlers from junior school. Their energy, vibes, and confidence can make anyone dance to the tunes.
किसी से भी ना हमने इजाजत ली है। हुनर है ये भी इश्क का, किसी किसी को आता है। जान लुटा के दुश्मन की हमने हिफाजत की है। बात करते हैं हजारों, है तजुर्बा हमें यारों। हजारों है तजुर्बा हमें यारों। ऐसी है बांध लूं मुझ पे वो झूमे जो पठान मेरी जान महफिल ही लुट जाए। दे दे जो जुबान मेरी जान उस पे मर मिट जाए। झूमे जो पठान मेरी जान
They indeed set the stage on fire.
Among us is the former president of Committee of Hoxa, Mr. Somit Dutt of batch 1971. He did his economics honors from Maharaja Shayaji Rao University, Baroda. He completed his executive development course from IIM, Kolkata. He has also done diploma in computer programming, specialization in rural communication, and outdoor advertising. Consequently, he was appointed as the CEO of the largest large format digital printing with facilities across the world. Now, I request Mr. Somit Dutt to come up on the podium and address the gathering.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you very much. It's a great day today. Father Bill Dwyer, Father Slattery, Father Rosner, Father James, thank you very much. There were a lot of stories on Father Moore that you have heard. You know the history of the school. There is only a few things about Father Moore that I would like to say which were discussed with me personally later on by Father Moore. Number one, why have 4 houses? And why do you have the lineup in the mornings or in the evenings? It was just to develop a spirit of cohesion, a spirit of unity amongst all of us. It was the same thing for every other aspect. He looked to give you responsibility, not to keep power to himself. You have to grow up to become responsible people, and you need teamwork. There were no teachers or students as such. Everybody was helping everybody else. He was a very understated man. He never showed that he was the principal or anything. It was a student and a teacher's relationship and a parent and child relationship. There were children who walked into his room, to his office anytime. One evening study, just before study, we used to line up outside the school building, class-wise and house-wise. Father Moore heard somebody coughing very badly. He did not say anything. As all the boys were going into the study hall, he called this boy aside, and Father Moore had a white scarf, a muffler on his neck. He took it off, put it on the boy, and said, "Go." That was the man. It was a gift from his mother, but to him it didn't matter. That goes to show how a parent looks after the child. When you play games, why was games compulsory during our time? It was because you develop bonds. If you just come to class and go away, you don't really get together. You don't have a cooperative system within you. Bonding amongst all of us was created by him. That is why Hoxa today is what it is. From 1955, which was the first batch, till today. The youngsters, I don't find them so much with us, but I would like all of you to come and share Hoxa and move it forward. We haven't been doing that. We are all old-timers now. We need youngsters to step forward, take Hoxa forward. And that would be his idea of what he wanted to do with the school and with his children. That is the kind of person he was. He did the same thing in Bokaro, but his one regret was Bokaro didn't have playing fields and it didn't have a boarding. Boarding school created the best bonding. You fight your own battles. You don't go to your parents or your teachers and say, oh, I'm getting bullied or he's hitting me or something like that. It's nothing. You went for a fight, okay, fight it out. Don't depend on others. Take responsibility. And become true human beings. That was very important, like Father Dalad said in that thing. He wanted you to develop much more than just financial success or economic success or whatever you call it. It was success so that you create a better India, a better world. And that is what we should be looking at today.
Thank you so much, sir, for your motivating words.
नृत्य खुशी का इजहार है, ये राधा कृष्ण का प्यार है, प्रसन्नता का ये इकरार है, नृत्य कलाओं का निहार है.
Now, here are the little jewels of our school eagerly waiting backstage for their solo dance performance. The solo dancers are Chantal Leonaika, Riya Kumari, Adya Srivastav and Anaya Sheetal.
जुड़ा के सजा ले
बारिश का बोसा है कोसा है कोसा है बारिशों का बोसा है जल 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 बहता जल
आज कोई काल सर पे बचेगा ना इकबाल
It was indeed breathtaking.
Can we have a big round of applause for Mr. Sujit Sen? He joined St. Xavier School, Hazaribagh in 1959 and completed his schooling in 1967 after completing ISC examination. He then joined St. Xavier's College in 1968 and completed his graduation in 1971. Thereafter, he pursued chartered accountancy and qualified in 1977. Since then, he has been a full-time practicing CA, running his own firm. He stayed connected to the school since 1967 and now is treated as a mentor for the Hoxa committee in Kolkata. I request him to come up on the podium and enlighten us with his words.
Reverend Fathers, teachers, staff of St. Xavier's, and my dear students. It's an honor and privilege to have been asked to speak on this wonderful occasion of not only the Founders' Day, but the 105th anniversary of Father John Moore, whom we very lovingly used to call boss at our time. There were very few who would address him otherwise. And there were very few who had occasion to address anyone else as boss after they left school. So that was the charisma of the person, the love and respect that all of us who have come out of this school have for him. Now, I've been asked to make this speech short. It's difficult for me. Countless memories. I've been in the school from 59 to 67. 7 years under the tutelage, guidance, love of John Moore and the other fathers. So when I joined school, it was an 8-acre plot comprising of 7 buildings. And there were 2 dilapidated buildings. One was Hampton Court, where the basketball court beside the school is, and one was Beehive, where the earlier main toilet of the school, which was behind that, Beehive. Both of them have since been demolished. From 1952, with this infrastructure, some of which had already been built up by when I joined, brick by brick, Father Moore, along with his merry band of Australian and New Zealand padris, and of course, our beloved brother Billick, who built this institution brick by brick with all the love and care that is very difficult to fathom. I would love to share with you some memories and experiences that I've had in my encounters, either directly or indirectly, with John Moore. When I got to jot these down, I realized that such experiences were numerous, and to share them with you would take up all the time allotted for this function. Instead, what I will do is, you have all heard, you will hear from speakers after me about the person John Moore, about the quality of the person, about the abilities of the person, about the attributes of the person. The John Moore Touch film would have given you some, hints at what kind of person he was. But I will dwell on one aspect of his abilities which has not been in the public domain, and neither have this come up in the course of a general discussion amongst Hoxons, amongst teachers or whoever, an attribute which I as an accountant appreciate to such a great extent that I have this strong desire of sharing it with you. So what about whom, and so what and about whom are we talking? Here was a man, and listen to this carefully. You have to get the understanding of this man to know that who has founded your institution. It is up to you to carry forward his good name, his contributions for the building of this institution. So please listen to this carefully, and this is also for you. Here was a man who in 26 years of his active working life built 2 educational institutions comparable with the best in the country, if not better. In today's world, his achievements are an ideal case study material for premier business institutions. You know, in business schools, they have these case studies. I think most of the senior boys will be aware of this. So what I feel is that John Moore is a case study for premier business schools in this country. Why? Can you imagine the capabilities of the person who can have such vision, foresight, will and tenacity not only to ideate but also to fructify those ideas into reality without any IT support or software or database which could be accessed for real time. Now this man, at the age of 32, he was asked to come to India from a developed country, Australia, to one of the most underdeveloped nations at that time, India. And not only that, amongst the poorest of its regions within India, which was then popularly known as Chota Nagpur. Hazaribagh was on the Chota Nagpur plateau. He came here, no knowledge of the geography, no knowledge of the culture, no knowledge of the languages. Imagine, any one of you, when you reach the age of 30, I send you to Finland to set up an institution. Imagine Finland is a developed country. I send you to Zambia in Africa. Just imagine the scenario at that point in time. To give you a perspective of introspection, consider this scenario. Way back in 1951, as a foreigner from a developed country, he was sent to India, then an underdeveloped country, totally alien to his geography, languages and cultures, planning to build a world-class school in one of its poorest regions. It was a thought which even most capable would shy from. But not John Moore. His manner of coping with government departments, the locals and other startup issues by convincing all concerned that the institution would be beneficial to the local population. Acquiring land, raising funds, building a team dedicated to the project and putting in place systems, logistics and methodology with pinpointed focus was exemplary and difficult to emulate. Apart from this expressed idea of his abilities, his interactions with both his students and their parents was something to cherish for a lifetime, and he had the ability to leave a lasting impact on everybody he had met and dealt with. His demeanor was such that he would demand immediate respect. You know, the very sight of him. Wherever John Moore walked, God walked. That was the person. Father Moore had a profound philosophy of education which he slowly implemented, and as time went on, imparted it to his boys and teachers, both by style of administration and in the memorable model science classes for the seniors which he took. This formed an important part of what he saw as forming an enlightened youth capable of understanding himself and being able to manage his life in the hurly-burly world of business or profession. In 1965, having handed over a well-run school and having had a well-deserved holiday, Father Moore, based on his reputation he had built over the relatively short period of time that he was in India, was asked to respond to the request of the newly formed Bokaro steel plant. Bokaro steel plant was coming up then at around that time. This was not quite a replica of the Hazaribagh school that we had at that time. There was no need for boarding facilities. It was co-educational, and he invited Franciscan Claris sisters to join the staff. If I'm not wrong, Father Slattery, please correct me if I'm not wrong, maybe this was the first Jesuit co-educational school in India. In 1979, John Moore retired from his active school administration and devoted himself to lecturing in India and abroad and writing on Jesuit education until his sudden death on 2nd October 1988. A deeply religious and prayerful person, a man of great compassion and respect for others, a man who loved to challenge himself and who loved to quote Robert Browning's, "A man's reach must outdo his grasp," or "What's a heaven for?" To others, he inspired confidence and helped them to grow their inner freedom and in the joy of giving to others. He is still held in very high regard by his former students and all those who have had the opportunity to have interacted with him. Now, this year has been a very memorable year for Hoxa and personally for me, for being an active participant in the execution of 2 projects in the memory of Boss. The first was to publish a book by the name of Education and Educational Philosophy by John Moore, which was a compilation of his lectures and writings and highlighting that the main purpose of education is to build worthy individuals of character, not brilliant students, worthy individuals of characters. The intent with which this book was published was to share the wisdom and knowledge of John Moore, which was otherwise doomed to remain in the archives, with the world of education by putting them in the public domain. This book has been widely circulated all over the world, and today it graces the libraries of internationally acclaimed educational institutions and Jesuit institutions, as well as eminent personalities in the world of education, some of whom have written rave reviews about it. I sincerely hope that this philosophy, which is still very relevant and contemporary, will help future educationists to get a direction to how and where education system should focus on. The second, of course, is the installation of the bust. Now, this installation wouldn't be complete if I would not give a big thank you to the Hoxa community in general for arranging for this long-pending event. It must be mentioned that the installation would not have been possible without the active and unstinted support and super prompt responses from Father Rosner Khalko. Father Khalko was on the ball throughout the process for bringing this function to a fruition. The support from Hoxa Hazaribagh in general and Rahul Jain 1997 in particular also needs special mention. And last but not the least, the efforts put in by Shomit Datta 1971 and the dogged determination of Shodundra Narayan Datta 1978 will have to be acknowledged, as they were the prime movers to get this project off the ground and ensure its successful implementation. A big hand to them all. Thank you. In veritate et caritate. Jai Hind.
Thank you so much, sir.
नृत्य जीवन की कला है, नृत्य अनुराग है मन का, नृत्य है प्रेम ईश्वर का, नृत्य है भाव इस मन का, नृत्य करता है दिल पावन, नृत्य आनंद जीवन का.
Each culture has its unique style of dance that reflects its heritage, belief and traditions. Eagerly waiting backstage is the Manipuri dance group to showcase the rich culture of Manipur through their dance.
জনজাতি ভাষা সমন্বয়ৰ আমি ভাৰতৰে উত্তৰ পূৰ্বাঞ্চলৰ চলুং উইং নমং চুলিত আহিবি চুনিয়ালৈ কপুং কখাং নাচি লগত ইয়াক গাবলৈ সুখতেনে দুখত আছো চাবিহিয়ে বাদলৈ ভাই ককাই ভাই ভনীৰ দৰে মিলি কেনেকৈ মই নকতে চিংকো কালং তাগিন তাংচা খামতি খামিয়ং মিয়ং পাদম খাম্বা নকতে চিংকো কালং তাগিন তাংচা খামতি খামিয়ং মিয়ং পাদম খাম্বা
It was indeed an energetic performance.
Can we please have a big round of applause for Mr. Arijit Das Gupta, 1978 batch, Secretary Hoxa, Kolkata. I request him to come upon the podium and address the gathering.
Hello, seniors, fathers, and dear students. We've come here to commemorate the great work and the vision of Father John Moore, and we are in our best effort trying to further his legacy as an educationist, as a human being. I would like to take this occasion, especially for the young students here, to introduce them to some of the other Jesuit fathers who were there in our time, so that they can also get a glimpse of the life that we spent in St. Xavier's maybe 20, 30, 40 years ago. I would like to start with Father Cronin. So Father Cronin was a revered rector. I do not recall any occasion of anybody calling him Father Cronin. He was just called Father Rector. He was a stentorian, a disciplinarian, a tall, regal figure who everybody used to, revere in the school. And he was a kind of a person who was the band master, and the school was his concert. So that was the way he ran his school. He was never very hands-on, but he made sure everything was working behind the lines. Now I'd like to mention Father Grogan. So Father Grogan cannot but bring a smile to everybody's lips. He was such a gentle person, a person of infinite patience, infinite love, and infinite caring. I remember once we were in class 8 and we were going through one of the English lessons, and there was a little bird singing outside the window. So Father Grogan just stopped the person who was reading the chapter, and he said, okay, now it's time to listen to the little birdie sing his song. So that's the kind of person he was. He loved nature, he loved human beings, and he was a man about town. So he did a lot in terms of socializing St. Xavier's and its culture within the Hazaribagh population, among the general civilians who used to stay here. And a lot of the goodwill that we have in the school, in the town, in Bihar, now Jharkhand, beyond in Calcutta, Eastern India, or even India and around the world, I would give a little percentage of it to Father Grogan, definitely. And there was Father Mullen. So Father Mullen was actually the mentor of science. I would say he was the mentor of science in our school. So whether it be it physics, chemistry, biology, he was a master of all. Apart from being that, he was an astronomer who had his own telescope on the roof, and he introduced students to astronomy, watching the stars, the different galaxies. He also helped the students develop some qualities beyond studies. That is, there were students who used to, have pet rabbits, and Father Mullen helped them, keep them, feed them, just to go there once a day and feed their pets. So he helped us, develop certain faculties of life which are not very common in school. He taught boys to build crossbows. I don't know if you know, the young students here would know what are crossbows, but crossbows are what the medieval warriors used to use. It's like a bow, but it's got without pulling with the hand, it's like a gun. So you have a trigger, and when you press the trigger, the arrow shoots out, and it's got a greater range. He also had people, build various scientific things. I remember one of my classmates, he was very good. He built an inverter, and this was in class 8, 1976, okay? So when we used to have frequent power cuts here, and this inverter was installed in our class. So when the power cuts were on and other classes didn't have light, so we had this, this inverter light, and the other students used to come in there for the evening study to do their studies. And then he had a famous temper. Father Mullen had a famous temper, and he did not suffer, idiots like us very easily. But he made sure that we learned. So a lot of our scientific grounding has come from him. And then I would like to mention Father Thwaites. I don't know if the juniors are familiar with Father Thwaites. He was the strongest man that we had in school, and he was part of the cricket team. He was the coach of the football team. In his time, he represented his state, New South Wales, in cricket as well as in boxing. He was an ultimate sportsman. At the age of 60, he used to play with kids like 13, 14, 15 our age, and he used to match us in efficiency. Father Thwaites also was a very kind gentleman. He was a gentle giant, so to say. He used to ride a scooter. When he used to ride a scooter, he used to pick up kids like that with the one hand and take them along maybe 10 meters and just drop them. So he was so strong. There's another father I would like to mention, Father Peter Jones. When we were students here, ICSE introduced a new subject called modern mathematics, and nobody knew anything about it. Father Jones was the person who built the entire syllabus of the school on modern mathematics, and we studied our mathematics on cyclo-style books, which were written by Father Jones, and we did our ICSE in that way. So you would know the kind of depth and the knowledge that he had on this subject. Father Jones was also famous for playing a very rare game. He used to play a game called handball. And if you see at the end of second team field, there are some handball courts. I don't know if they're still there, but he used to take this ball and used to whack it, along the walls of the handball court. And we tried once or twice, and the ball was so hard, it used to pain so much. So I really wonder how Father Jones used to manage that. He was a very strong man, and he was a very, very principled man. And thanks to him also that we could, become better citizens of the world, so to say. We have Father Slattery and Father Dwyer with us today, so probably you know him a lot, and I would not like to take your time to do that. And lastly, I would like to thank, our friends here, our local Hazaribagh batch, and finally, Father Rosner, who made it possible to have this event. Thank you, Father Rosner. It was so nice and refreshing to have known you, and really appreciate, everybody here. Thank you very much, and I hope you have a wonderful day.
Thank you so much, sir, for your motivating words.
Feeling gratitude and not expressing is like wrapping a gift and not giving it. So I call upon Vice Principal High School, Reverend Father Ranjit Marandi SJ, to come up on the stage for the vote of thanks.
Most respected chief guests of the day, Mr. Sujit Sain, 1967 batch, Mr. Somit Sain, 1971 batch, and the members of Kolkata Hoxans, also called as Hoxa chapter, the president of Hazaribagh Hoxa, Mr. Harsh Verma, 1974 batch, and the secretary, Mr. Rahul Jain, 1979 batch, and all the members of Hoxa Hazaribagh, Honorable Principal Father Rosner, the Vice Principals, esteemed teachers, loving students, invited guests, parents of our students, and ladies and gentlemen, good morning to all. It is my privilege to propose a vote of thanks on the occasion and to acknowledge the contributions of those who worked really hard to make the Founders' Day happen today. On behalf of St. Xavier's family and the entire fraternity of the institution, first of all, let us thank the Almighty, the Creator, for making today's event a resounding success. With His blessings and grace, we were able to make this event what it was today, and we indeed had a great day. May I extend the same feelings and emotions to the Jesuit community of the campus, headed by Father Verghese, and also a million thanks to the former principals, Father Bob, Father Bill Doyer, Father James, for your auspicious presence today. On behalf of the principal, the staff, and the students, I extend a gigantic thanks to the speakers of the day, Mr. Sujit Sain, Mr. Somit Sain, and Mr. Arijit Das Gupta, who spared their time in spite of their busiest schedule to grace the occasion. Today, we had an opportunity to hear your thoughts, and this will surely encourage us in our future endeavors. Your thoughts have enlightened the young minds indeed today, and to us, you have shown us a new horizon. Our gratitude to you, sirs, for gracing this occasion. The beautiful bust of the founder of our school, Father John Moore SJ, that was unveiled today was contributed by Kolkata Hoxans under the leadership of Mr. Sujit and Mr. Sumit. So Shall we give them a round of applause, please? We also render our gratitude to the President of Hazaribagh Hoxha, Mr. Harsh, Dheeraj Jain, the Vice President, the Secretary, Mr. Rahul, Mr. Neil Kamal, the Joint Secretary, Mr. Sunil Verma, the Treasurer, and also all the members of Hazaribagh Hoxha for your immense support, not only towards the institution and towards the installation of the bust of our founder, but also their contribution, continuous support to the school and the management. We owe you a great gratitude to you, sirs. And dear students, let us thank them with a big round of applause. I would like also to extend the same gratitude to the principal, Father Rosner, for his meticulous planning and guidance. We acknowledge a deep sense of appreciation to you, Father, as a great and visionary leader of this prestigious institution. I extend my sincere thanks to the faculty for accompanying and monitoring the students today, not only today, but throughout the year. The same gratitude is extended to the support staff for all the necessary arrangements for the day. I also would like to thank the people who worked behind the screen, especially Mr. Samir Roy, who is the artist and sculptor of our founder, Father John Moore. Round of applause, please. Our sincere gratitude goes to all the parents and all the well-wishers for your rock support and encouragement. Yes, dear parents who are watching us online, without your support, you wouldn't be able to shape your children what you want them to be. Finally, I would like to thank the stage performance of the day who made this event a colorful one with their beautiful singing and dancing. Dear children, you were indeed looking like angels from heaven with your melodious voices. You too deserve a round of applause. And last but not the least, a big thanks to you, dear loving students, for your patient listening and sitting peacefully and well behaved. Thank you very much. You have presented to our alma mater, and not only alma mater, but to our alumni, what this institution stands for. Thank you one and all, and God bless St. Xavier's Hazaribagh. Yeah.
On behalf of the alumni and on our behalf, we would like to thank all the staff members who made this beautiful show happen. There were teachers involved in making this. There were other people involved in making this. Thank you very much. It was a wonderful show.
Thank you so much, Father. I now request Vice Principal +2, Debrat Sir, to come up on the podium.
Good morning to one and all. My coming on the podium signifies that the program has ended. But today it is not like that. How can we not remember the founder who penned down the school song? So we will end the program by singing the school anthem. I request each one of you to please rise up and take the proper posture. for the school anthem. This song that we sing so proudly was penned down by the former principal, Father John Moore. You may come, sir, and if I'm wrong, please correct me.
Now, I have been given to understand that the school has been changed. The school song has been changed. This song, we had a massive reunion in 1960. And sitting in front of Father Malan's, where Father Malan's room was, Father Somerton and Mike Doyle, they penned down the lyrics as well as the music of the song. So it was not Father John Moore who wrote the song. And another thing that I realized is that it's very clearly mentioned that the school colors are red and gold. We are the red and we are the gold. But I find that we use blue and white for the foundation. And I believe the school colors have been changed. I don't know. But that was the original concept.
Thanks for the necessary correction. I'll keep that in mind. All right, I now request the students to please take your seats. I humbly request all the dignitaries to please first leave the hall and then the students will follow thereafter.